Hi guys, we know that OpenAI released a bunch of problems that equate to $1 million from the likes of Upwork and freelancer.com. So they are challenging LLMs or agents to actually solve these and see which agent can actually successfully solve them. So if you go to issues, number one, yeah, it's just complicated. I don't know even where to start here, but we have tests. So tests should actually guide an LLM as to what to do here. I saw something about deleting an email inbox. So this is dangerous stuff, man. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is use three different deep research offerings. Google Gemini has recently made their deep research free. So we're going to use it. We're going to ask it. Basically, we're just going to paste the repo's URL and in the issues folder and ask it to explain the first 10 issues. So we're going to ask Google Gemini. Then we're going to ask O3 Mini High with deep research. Then we're going to ask the infamous Grok 3 because of the owner. We're going to ask it to also do the research. Okay, let's start. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Let me wait. 3, 2, 1. Let's start. So we're going to ask all of them that given the software engineering issues, number 1 to 10, they must analyze each of the issues and give a thorough description of what is required of each and also give the requirements for each. Finally, we want a score out of 10 for complexity of each issue and the estimated number of minutes to solve each. I wonder how they're going to perform here. Okay, let's start. Given the software issues, okay. Ready in a few minutes. Okay, start. Okay, let's go to the provider repository, navigate to the issues directory within the repository, open first issue. Based on the content of the issue, write a detailed description of the problem. Yes, identify explicit requirements, evaluate the complexity of the issue, estimate the time in minutes that will likely be required to solve the issue, repeat steps. Perfect. Let's say start research. After it starts the research, let's ask O3 Mini High to also start the research. I can analyze the issues from the given repository and provide a thorough breakdown of each issue, including, okay, categorization of issue, suggested approach for solving issues, dependent. Know if you have any specific preferences. Yes, include all of the above in the research. Go. I like this categorization of each issue. Okay, let's go for grok. Grok doesn't take time. Does it allow this? No. Grok usually doesn't take time. I think it will return the quickest. And it will not provide as thorough of a research as the others. Let's check on the others. Okay, it's still researching. What is the time? Oh, Gemini is done. Now, how long did this take? This took like a minute or so. I wish it would tell me. Okay, let's try to understand the first issue. So, analysis of initial software engineering issues in the SWELancer benchmark repository. Each issue has been thoroughly examined to understand the reported problem, delineate the necessary requirements for, okay. The initial observation from the provided information indicates a potential underlying problem with the repository's issue tracking system. Specifically, issue number 1, as mentioned in the provided data, points to an inaccessible website. Oh, nice inline sources, yeah? Analysis of issue 1. Could you explain issue introduction.patch? I saw this file and it's blank. Issue data. Hold option is missing the context menu. If you haven't already, check out our contributing guidelines. Oh, there we go. So I could do it just by reading the files. So the hold option is missing the context menu. That's literally it. And there's the issue ID in this repository. Okay, for me, this is straightforward. I'll have to look at this is $250. But I'll have to look at the code to see how complex it is. But the description is very straightforward. So you just right click on an expense in the context menu. You make sure that the hold option is visible for fitting expenses. Cool. Let's see which one actually read this. The user's question implies that the documentation or existing context does not adequately explain this component of the benchmark, leading to confusion about its role and format. Requirements. Develop comprehensive documentation that clearly explains this. No. I wonder where it got this question though. Specify the expected format and content of this file, including any specific syntax or conventions. Articulate the role and purpose of this file within the overall benchmarking process. No, this is not about benchmarking. It's about an issue that needs to be solved. Primarily a documentation task. No, here are the steps to reproduce it. This is a huge fail for Gemini deep research. I'm very surprised. Okay, OpenAI's O3 mini high is still going. It has 43 sources so far. It's examined various files in the issues folder for the first issue. Okay, it's done with the research in 5 minutes. Hold option missing in context menu. Wow, it got it right. Wow, it got it right. That's nice. OpenAI. Wow. Detailed description in the Expensify app. Right click and expense preview. Should show a hold option in the context menu as in production. However, this hold option is currently not appearing at all. The issue requires adding or restoring the missing hold action so that users can place an expense on hold via the context menu. This is perfect. This is how I understood it. This is how I, as a human and developer, understood it. The requirements ensure the whole option is present in the expense context menu for relevant expense items. Yes, I even said relevant. Oh man, spot on. The hold action should function as expected, placing the expense on hold, consistent with the production behavior. I didn't even get to the point where I noticed that in production it actually works. Interesting. Verify the context menu UI updates correctly across supported platforms, web and mobile, when adding the hold option. No regression. Yeah, there must be unit tests and integration tests. Complexity 3 out of 10, relatively straightforward. UI fix in context menu. I like this. Approximately an hour and a half to implement and test. Category bug fix. Suggested approach, identify where the expense context menu items are defined in the code and add the missing hold menu item. This likely involves enabling a flag or adding an entry for hold in the menu configuration. Review the production code or specs to ensure the hold options visibility conditions are met. Then implement the change and test by right clicking. Which environment, or is it when you clone the repository? I wonder where this issue is. Yeah, it's probably when you clone the repository. Let's see what Grok has for us. Wait, Grok is still thinking 14 minutes. I did not expect this. Wait, no, I don't think. I think it was stuck, eh? Yeah, it's stuck. That's a light failure. Let's restart. Okay, so Grok 3 deep search is done in 3.5 minutes. Let's see how it describes issue 1. Server specs and auto deploy config. Okay. Determine server specifications for scaling and check for auto deployment configuration. Requirements, research server requirements for the benchmark. For the benchmark? No. No, it's hallucinating here. Oh no, man. Where are the sources for issue 1? This issue found at issue 1 is a question asking for server specifications to run the benchmark at scale and whether there is an auto deploy configuration. It is more of an information gathering task rather than a coding task. No, this is a fail. Okay, let's check issue number 2. Let's go to Gemini. Can the model see the issue's GitHub discussion thread? Okay. This issue raises a question about the scope of information accessible to the language model being evaluated by the benchmark. The user is specifically asking whether the model can access and utilize the discussion thread associated with a GitHub issue. No, this has nothing to do with benchmarking. If we go to issue number 2, this should have been padded to the left with zeros. Let's look at test.py, new test user, gmail.com, random email, launch Chromium. What's the session here? Oh, to have this background color for the US dollar element. Okay, I kind of see what the requirements would be here. Currency selected incorrectly after page reload. Like, this is the memorandum in the issue data.json file. $250. By the way, how does Expensify look? Oh, it looks fancy. Oh, this is nice. Manage expenses for a small team. Okay, so after a reload, the currency selection is inconsistent. So Gemini is definitely wrong again. Let's check OpenAI. So 3 mini, deep research. Issue 2, currency selection resets incorrectly after reload. This is perfect. This is just perfect. Complexity 4 out of 10. Around 2 hours this time. The first one was 1.5 hours. Suggested approach, investigate how the subscription page stores the selected currency. The likely cause is that the selection state is being cached or not reset on component mount. Yeah. Let's check grok. Fixing Dockerfile build error. What? This issue at issue 2 reports a build failure on x86 architecture during gem installation. Wait a second. Why is it hallucinating this much though? And where does it get all this information from? Okay, guys, first 2 issues. By far, ChatGPT 03 mini high version of deep research is much better than Gemini and Grok 3. It's actually the only one which actually got the research correct for the first 2 issues. This is a new series comparing the deep research offerings that we have currently. We'll have a parallel series where we test each and every agent across these issues to see how they'll do. Agents like Cursor and Ada, and we'll see how they actually perform.